to What's Cooking, New Ulm. I'm Rebecca Fliszar, the dietitian with the Heart's Beat Back Heart of New Ulm project, working to reduce and eventually eliminate heart attacks in the 56073 zip code. Well, my guest today is Kate Callahan-Schmitz. Welcome, Kate.
Nice to be here, Becca. I'm happy to join you on the show.
All right. Well, we're going to go through a nice Powerbar recipe today. And our goal today is actually to find a good, healthy snack for kids. So something that we can make quickly at home. This is a very short recipe today, and yet it's very nutritious, and it's going to be great for kids. So tell us a little bit about your recipe you have here, Kate.
It's a peanut energy bar, which I would say would be comparable to a granola bar that you might buy in the store. However, with this particular recipe, you can mix and match, create as you go, add, delete, make it very personal to what your kids might like.
Great. That's exactly what we're looking for. So why don't you go through our basic ingredients, and then we'll talk about a few modifications that we can make.
Perfect. We have the dry cereal, peanut butter, which you can use chunky or plain, brown sugar, any type of nut, but today we're going to use peanuts and sunflower seeds, but actually any kind of nut you could throw in. The dried fruit, we're using the dried cranberries, and I have experimented and used other dried fruits before, and it turns out equally as well, and our oats.
Great. So as Kate mentioned, you can change these up. If you wanted to try things like almonds or cashews, that would work fine as well. Our sunflower seeds do have a distinct flavor, but if it's something your family doesn't enjoy, you can certainly delete those. You can also try things like dried apricots, raisins, anything else that you can find to maybe make it a little bit more flavorful. Remember that fruit is replacing any kind of chocolate in your Powerbar or your granola bar, so you do want to make sure that stays in there as well. What about the cereal, Kate? Have you ever tried it with any other kind of cereal?
Actually, I play around with the cereal all the time. I've used Cheerios, I've used Special K. Any dried cereal that you have on hand works.
Well, great. So this is, again, about 15 minutes is going to be our total time putting this together. So let's go ahead and get started and see where we go.
Sounds good. First, I mix the dried ingredients together. So I take the half a cup of cereal. Actually, it calls for 2 cups of a dried cereal.
Okay.
So we'll measure that. And again, you can mix and match this. The last time I made it, I used Cheerios. And then you add the oats, and these can be instant oats or the regular oatmeal.
Okay. And again, what are all of these doing for us, Kate? So
we're with the oatmeal, we're adding the fiber.
Okay. And as a side note, Kate is a fellow dietitian of mine, so we spend a good amount of time together going over different recipes like this, finding out what's going to be the best for families. So Kate can just as well give the nutrition advice today as I can. So what's next here, Kate?
I'm now going to add in the dried fruit, and actually, again, this could be done with any dried fruit. I've used apricots, I've used raisins. My kids tend to like the mixed bits as opposed to the bigger pieces. And I find that when I use the smaller pieces of nuts or the mixed dried fruits, that it stays together a little bit better.
Okay. And that is a concern on this one. So with this basic recipe, you might need to change a couple of things to make it stick. Is that about right, Kate?
That's exactly right. Now I'll add in the sunflower seeds and the nuts, half a cup of each of these, and again you can choose any type of nut, and it can be chopped, it can be toasted. I've actually, backing up a bit, have tried toasting the oatmeal before too, and that gives it a whole different flavor and a different flavor that's good.
Good, great. So definitely can make some variations with this as well.
I go with what I have on hand, and honestly it turns out great as bars. But when I feel like not waiting for it to go into the pan, I'll throw it into a big bowl like this and just put it down in front of the teenage boys, and it's gone.
Great.
It's like they love it.
Now, does this recipe require any kind of baking or?
The only baking that you use is the syrup mixture, which is the peanut butter, the Karo syrup, or you can replace that with honey, and the brown sugar. And that goes in the microwave for a minute. Stir it up, and then you pour it over the mixture, and it's completed.
Okay, so this is an easy recipe.
Super easy.
This is something else then, because there doesn't require any use of the stove, that kids can try to make as well. So if you're not at home right away after school, these are definitely ingredients that you can have set out and have your kids put together for themselves as well. Okay, so what's going to be our binder here? How do we make this stick together,
The
Kate?
binder now, we need a microwavable safe pan. I'm sure you could also do this on the stove, but it's a little bit faster to do it in the microwave. We take the peanut butter, the brown sugar, and Karo syrup, which could be light Karo syrup or honey. I've used both, and they both turn out equally as well and taste equally as good.
Okay. Well, while Kate
So we're
moves
mixing
over,
this up.
Yep. While Kate moves over to the microwave, we'll go ahead and cut out and check with Holly and see what's new for Fit in 5.
Core is kind of a buzzword or a key word in today's workout world. When we think of a good, strong core, oftentimes our mind will go right to the commercials showing the men and women with a six-pack of abs. But what we don't often think about is having a good, strong core helps us with daily living. A good, strong core will help with our balance and will just help us move through space as we go about our daily routine. Today I'm going to show you some exercises that you can do to help build your core. And you can do these right at home in the privacy of your own home while watching the rest of What's Cooking New Home or any other TV show that you may enjoy. We're going to start off by doing a crunch. When we think of abdominals and working our abdominals, we often think of doing a sit-up or a crunch. Today we're going to learn a crunch. We really don't want to do sit-ups so much anymore. They use a lot of momentum, not so much muscle, and they can actually torque the back, which is not what we're looking for. So when we think of doing a crunch, we're going to sit on our floor, our mat, or a towel, and we're going to keep our knees right in line with our hips as we gradually lower down. We're going to keep that low back in contact with the mat. Bring the feet flat on the mat, the hands behind the head or across the chest, however we're comfortable. We want those elbows nice and wide, and we want to lift up and lower back down, keeping contact with the low back and the mat the whole time. We're going to do these about 12 to 20 times, and then we can rest for about 30 seconds, and then we're going to come back and do another set. Now you can do that 2 or 3 times, no problem. We're going to come up, and we're going to turn over and go into a plank position. A lot of times when we think of plank, we're going to think of we need a lot of upper body strength to do this. But you'll notice when you go into a plank position, you're going to feel your abdominals and your back really activate to try to hold your body upright. So I'm going to turn over, and I'm going to start in an all-fours or a quadruped position with my wrists right underneath my shoulders. Then I'm just going to gradually take one leg out and then the other. So now I'm in what's called a plank position. If this is a little more sensation than you enjoy, bring the knees down. This is a modified plank position, and it works just fine. When you're in plank, we want the hips nice and level. We don't want to bring them up, and we don't want to do what I call a donkey back, where we're really sagging through the back. The body should be in one nice straight line. If we want a little more sensation, we can actually bring one leg up and down and just alternate. Now this, we want to just practice building up the time that we can hold this position. We can also come down to another modified position here, and then we can bring the knees down again. We think of abs when we think of core, but we don't want to forget the back. So I'm going to actually lower down and show you just a couple of back exercises that you can do. If you've done any type of Pilates, these are probably going to look pretty familiar. We can do what's called a modified cobra first, with placing the hands right underneath the shoulders. What we're going to do is just very gradually bring this up and then lower down. Now watch, if you have any type of back issues, we want to make sure that those toes stay in contact with the mat and we're not lifting them up. And then we're just going to gradually come up and down again. Again, if we have any type of back issues, we don't want to take this movement up too far. We can come just a little ways up or a little bit further, depending on the health of our spine. We're going to lower down, and then we're going to swim. So we bring the arms out, and we're going to raise the right arm and the left leg, and bring it down, and then left arm, right leg, and bring it down. And then we're just going to speed up that movement a little bit quicker. Again, we're going to do this about 12 to 20 times, rest, and then do it again. Now to get back up from this position, we can bring the hands right underneath the shoulders, roll the toes underneath. We're going to take a deep breath in, and when we exhale, we're going to come back up to our plank. We can take plank to a side plank as well, where we can place one knee down and turn to the side. We can keep that knee down or we can extend it. And again, we just want to build up the amount of time that we can hold this position. And then we'll switch sides. So we go to the other side. Now a nice stretch for the back. We can bring the knees down. And then we come back to a shell position. So we take the heels back, or the sits bones back to the heels and extend out, just stretching through that spine. Then we can walk the hands back up and center. If you do those exercises 2 or 3 times a week, you're going to notice a much stronger core, much stronger abs and back, and you'll even be able to sit up or stand up a little bit taller. That's it for today's Fit in 5. Have a healthy day.
Thanks, Holly. Those are some great tips. All right, Kate, I think we're ready for our microwave step.
Okay, the next step is to measure the sugar piece. I used brown sugar today. You could substitute that for white sugar if you were out of the brown sugar. I have found that the brown sugar tastes much better. Now we add in the peanut butter. And again, this could be any brand, creamy, chunky, it doesn't really matter. I tend to like the crunchiness, so I always choose the crunchy peanut butter. You measure that right into the bowl. And again, you want to use a microwavable safe bowl. Sometimes I'll add in a little extra peanut butter just because I found the consistency, if I want to cut it into bars, is better if I add a little extra peanut butter.
So it gives it a little some density.
Yeah, so I might go an extra tablespoon or 2 into there.
Okay.
And then you, again, can use Karo syrup or honey. This is the light Karo syrup, which is now available in the supermarkets, just to save a few extra calories. And you measure that, and then give it a little stir. Just till you see the consistency blend a bit.
Okay.
And I typically use my finger to get this last little bit off, but
not today.
not
Kate.
today, we won't do that. And then it's ready to go in the microwave. I will use a plate or some kind of saran wrap just in case it would spatter. You want to be a little protective that way. Stick it in the microwave for a minute, and then we're ready to mix it up.
All right. Well, Kate sticks that in the microwave. We want to talk a few minutes about our Community Health Challenge. Right now we have our 25 districts and we are very active. We've done many events and we have many more to come. So stay with your Community Challenge leader. If you don't know who your district leader is, please contact us at the Heart of New Ulm and we will assign that district leader to you. Also, if you have feedback on our cooking show, if there's things you like or recipes you'd like to see made, please give us a call or email us and we will work on doing that. We want to make sure that this show is tailored for you and that you enjoy the recipes that you're seeing. So the Heart of New Ulm exists for you, the residents of New Ulm, so please feel free to give us any feedback that you may have, any changes that you'd like to have seen, and we are willing to implement those for you as well. So, all right, Kate, so what is going to be our final step when that comes out?
Final step is once it's bubbled in the microwave, and again, that will be 1 to 2 minutes, then you mix it around the cereal, mix it up, pour it into a pan. Typically, I will use a cooking spray so that it doesn't stick at the bottom. So while it's being microwaved, I will spray the pan, just a light coating. That piece is ready to go. Then the microwave syrup will pour over the cereal mixture, and it's basically ready to eat.
All right.
If you want to cut this into bars, then I would suggest putting it into the refrigerator for approximately an hour so it gets a little bit firmer. But if you want to just have it as a cereal mix in a bowl, 10-15 minutes to let it cool off and it's ready to eat. The other cool thing about this mixture is that you can add extra ingredients to up the nutrition content, such as wheat germ. I have experimented throwing a half a cup of wheat germ into the mixture, a little extra fiber, B vitamins, vitamin E. My children actually can't tell the difference, but I know that they're getting a little extra nutrition boost that way. Other things you can do is for athletes, if they want a little extra protein. I've added protein powder into the cereal mix before. And again, it's just an extra boost of nutrition without affecting the taste.
Great. Now, if you do use daily flaxseed, that would work well in this mixture as well. So, anything that you want to add to bulk it or to change the consistency or the texture or the nutrients, feel free to experiment with all of our recipes. They are tailored to what your family needs and for your taste desires. So, you can definitely make those changes. So, I think I heard your beep.
It looks ready. This is what it might look like when you take it out of the microwave, and what I do then is just stir it up so it looks like it's blended, and then it's ready to pour over the cereal mix. And I just dribble it over. Sometimes if I am in a hurry, I'll spray my hands with the cooking spray and actually goop it up with my fingers and mix it up.
Great.
My kids actually like to use their hands better, so if I send them to the sink to wash their hands, then spray them with oil, or the cooking spray, then they get in there with their fingers and mix it up, and you know, kids just like to be messy sometimes that way.
Exactly. Well, it smells great and it looks really good. And again, this was a really quick recipe. You know, these ingredients were easy for us to add right in, a little bit of time in the microwave, and we have a completed product already. So this looks
ready
great.
to eat. It takes literally 10 to 15 minutes to throw it together, and the cool thing about it is you honestly have most of the ingredients on hand, and you can just mix and match and to your family's liking.
Great. Well, while we let that cool, let's go ahead and check in with Betsy and find out what's new with the Hearts Beat Back Heart of New Ulm project.
Hi, I'm Betsy Pizer with the Heart of New Ulm project, and I wanted to let you know about some upcoming fall events. Please join us on Saturday, October 16th at the DAC at the intersection of Center and State Street, anytime between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. to pick up your new Community Health Challenge materials. Our current focus is on physical activity. We're encouraging everyone to get a minimum of 150 minutes of physical activity each week. Our next challenge is fruits and vegetables and nutrition. It's time to color your plate and get a minimum of 5 servings of fruits and vegetables each day. Stop by October 16th from 3 to 9 p.m. to pick up your new materials. Then join us at 7 p.m. on October 16th to hear from Danny Cahill. He's a recent winner of The Biggest Loser, and he'll share with us great ideas on weight loss, maintaining weight loss, exercise, easy things you can do at home to change your environment. He'll teach us how to be realistic and set goals. Then on November 6th, we'll be at the New Ulm Community Center from 2 to 7 p.m. It'll be your opportunity to taste new foods, to get great recipes, and witness a culinary competition. For more information on these events or any events that are going on in your district throughout the Community Health Challenge, please visit our website at heartsbeatback.org. We hope to see you being active in the streets, swimming in the pool, or making sure that you're trying new fruits and vegetables and getting at least 5 servings each day. Have a great week.
Well, thanks, Betsy. Be sure to get involved with the Heart of New Ulm project. If you don't know who your district leader is, please contact us at the Heart of New Ulm office or give us an email and we'll get back to you. All right, Kate, so we have our final product and it looks great. So we're about to dig in. As you can see, we have an easy recipe that's full of nutrients. Kate, this was great for kids and it was an easy one to make, so we sure appreciate you being here today.
Thanks, I had fun. It was a great time.
Good. All right, so that's it for this week's episode of What's Cooking, New Ulm. We'll see you next week.